Hey guys, and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to be sharing with you everything you need to know about being pregnant as a flight attendant. If you are new here, my name is Bree. I work in Australia as a flight attendant. I am currently 26 weeks pregnant today, which is so crazy. In this video I'm going to be taking you to Darwin on my last ever flight attendant layover, and I'm going to be sharing with you what I pack pregnant, how my sleep's been, supplements I take, what happens when I stop flying, and anything that I can think of about being pregnant as a flight attendant, it's going to be in this video. So hope you enjoy it. First things first, I want to show you the maternity uniform. This is a little look at the pregnancy maternity uniform. As you can see, this is the top, so it's like a little peplum that flares out, and then I've got maternity pants, which, let me tell you, they're literally the comfiest things ever. If you can see this, that's all the maternity pants. They just hug your bub so much, which is absolutely ideal and so comfortable when you're flying. So without further ado, let's head to work. Let's head to Darwin. See you there. So we've made it to Brisbane. I'm just on the aircraft. We have a bit of a wait, so I thought I'd just talk you through some supplements that I've been taking while being pregnant. The first one is my prenatals, which I'm actually going to take now, which is the Natural Best ones. And then for hydration, these have been really good, Mummy and Me ones. So I'll take these just to get extra hydration, because it's really important to stay hydrated on a plane, not only normally but also when you're pregnant. And the third thing is these little traveler tubes. These have been game changing, especially when it comes to nausea. I would pop one of these and it would be great. So yeah, I thought I'll just tell you that now, and we're gonna start boarding and head to Darwin. So I'll see you there. Just arrived into Darwin, just arrived into my hotel room. I'll give you a little tour quickly. So the most important thing, the bed. Here we have a little desk. We have a nice little seating area here. I don't know if you can see, I wonder if you can see anything outside here. Probably not, nah. Probably because it is 12:30 a.m. There's not much lights on, and I'll show you the bathroom quickly. And here is the bathroom. I don't even think I told you what flights I was doing today. All I kind of really told you was that I was finishing up in Darwin, but we flew from Melbourne to Brisbane, which is an hour 54 flight time, and then Brisbane to Darwin, which was a 3 hour and 52 minute flight time with a 1.5 hour sit between. It's been a pretty long day, but to be honest, it hasn't been terrible. It's actually been really good. I have great crew members and great pilots, and it's been fantastic. It's so nice when the crew know you're pregnant, because everyone's so accommodating and nice, and I feel really supported by my crew members and my pilots, which is always nice. In terms of duties and stuff on the plane, because I work in business class, the carts aren't too big and heavy, which is good, so they're easy to maneuver in and out, and there isn't really anything heavy that I need to lift either when I'm doing business class, which is nice. So lucky about that. But I will be sharing with you so much more about pregnancy and being a flight attendant, but first things first is I want to jump in that shower. Before I fall asleep, I wanted to mention a few pregnancy symptoms that I'm currently dealing with, and how those symptoms are flying irritates and makes those symptoms a little worse. So one of the symptoms that I started getting last week was my feet will start to swell after a long day of being on my feet all day, and as a flight attendant working, you're on your feet literally all day. So I've noticed once I finished a shift last week and this week, my feet are a bit swollen. They're not like terribly swollen, but they're just like a little bit swollen and a bit hurting. And so you would have noticed in the clip previous that I elevated my feet. I probably did that for like maybe 10 minutes and it's really relieving. Something else I do is I'll sleep with my feet even elevated a bit with like pillows underneath my feet, which really help. Yeah, I guess flying doesn't really help with that symptom. It makes it a lot worse. Another symptom that I've been getting is indigestion, specifically before bed. Like right now, I'm feeling a bit of indigestion or like heartburn. And I think perhaps flying kind of makes that a little worse because I try to avoid eating the crew food on the aircraft because usually it's quite fatty and processed and has high sodium and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I just don't have time to bring my own food. But I've noticed that if I eat too late before I am about to sleep, then my heartburn and indigestion gets really bad. And sometimes like you don't really get to eat when you want to, specifically because you have to obviously look after passengers and you're busy working. So like whenever you get your break, it's kind of whenever it fits in with the service and all that stuff. So sometimes it's a bit later and more closer to bedtime. Yeah, so to help with my like indigestion and heartburn, I try not to eat too close to bedtime, eat fried fatty food, and I find that if I drink water and then lay down, that kind of makes my indigestion a bit worse. Fatigue is another symptom that is enhanced when flying because obviously you're flying weird hours and being in a pressurized cabin makes you a lot more tired than you normally are. So there's another symptom for you. Morning guys, it is the next day. I literally had the best sleep ever. Something that I've been doing, well, especially since I've become pregnant, is just setting no alarms on layovers unless I have to get up for work or something. But when I have longer layovers, I just let my body sleep and just wake up whenever my body feels like it's had enough rest. So this morning it was 11:45 a.m. I did go to bed at like 1:30. It's something I've been prioritizing because this job can be very fatiguing, as I kind of spoke about. As I get ready and I just like do my makeup, I want to go over the most commonly asked question that I get with being pregnant as a flight attendant, and that's like, when will I stop flying? What's maternity leave like? What policies or procedures are in place for pregnant flight attendants? All that stuff. So where do I even start? So once you reach 8 weeks of being pregnant, there's 3 options. You can either be asked to be put on ground duties or safe duties, which is where you're basically like grounded and you don't do flying, but you're given alternative duties. That could be like in the lounge or check-in, or there's like an admin office where you help out in the crew room with admin-y stuff. And the second option is that you can start your maternity leave as early as 8 weeks, or you can continue flying. And I felt pretty comfortable. To be honest, I found out I was pregnant at 6 weeks, so I like wasn't ready to stop flying yet, and I was pretty healthy and feeling pretty good, and luckily it didn't, like, pregnancy didn't affect me too much, so I felt very comfortable flying. But you can't fly past 28 weeks, which I told you I'm 26 weeks, so I have like 2 more weeks of flying. I literally have this trip, and then next week all I have is a Canberra return, which is like a 45-minute return flight basically, and then I'm done for flying, and I'll be put in the ground doing some safe duties. And then I'll be on safe duties for max of like 34 weeks when I reach 34 weeks of pregnancy. And if you want to continue longer than 34 weeks, you have to get a letter from your doctor and stuff saying that your pregnancy is safe and stuff. I'm probably going to stop around 34 weeks, maybe even earlier, we'll see. And then once I have baby, I can have up to 2 years off, which is so good. And here in Australia you get like paid maternity leave, so like as soon as I take maternity leave, which will probably be around like 32-34 weeks, I'll still continue getting paid. I was talking to a crew member yesterday who I was flying with, and she said that her maternity leave payments lasted for like a year after she gave birth, so that's pretty cool. There's some like really good incentives within like my airline and the government and all this stuff, so you can add like annual leave on top of your maternity leave and sick leave, and you can like really build up, so you can be paid for a longer period of time while you're off with baby, which is so good. And then I mentioned you can get
like 2 years off if you want. I'll probably get like 1.5 to 2 years off, I would say. I think that would be amazing, and then you can come back flying and be put on a part-time roster, which is so nice. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility and help that the company does. I know a lot of like airlines in the world, like as soon as you get pregnant they kind of put you on the ground straight away, but my airline's like a domestic airline and sometimes we do short haul international, so I felt very comfortable still flying within Australia because Australian healthcare is really great, it's free, and I could walk into any clinic, any doctor, and be helped and seen straight away. So I didn't have any hesitation about flying after those 8 weeks and up to 28 weeks. And my doctor has said that it's okay to fly up to 28 weeks as well. If my doctor said something different, I would definitely just be asked to be put on the ground. So I'm all ready to head out and grab some lunch. If you want a more detailed explanation of the things that I have just explained, I did make a whole like pregnancy Q&A, and there's a big section all about being a flight attendant, and I kind of elaborate a bit more. Definitely go check out that video. I'll have it linked down below for you if you want a bit more clarification. It's so sunny out there. I think it's meant to be like 30 something degrees, so I'm excited to see some sun and also get some food. I'll quickly show you a bump update. This dress is quite like form-fitting, so it's a good little bump dress. Definitely feeling pregnant now. Almost finished my lunch already, but I thought I would just talk quickly about perhaps some things that I'm changing up within my eating habit since being pregnant. And one of those things is I'm not eating like runny eggs, and unfortunately even if you ask for hard boiled eggs, sometimes they still give you like runny eggs which kind of sucks. So just been eating around it. But some other things I'm not eating is like raw fish, pre-made salads, some sort of meats that aren't cooked properly, like prosciutto, ham, like kind of deli meats I'm kind of avoiding as well because there's a lot of risks in that. And also I try not to eat the crew food. Yeah, there's some things I'm not eating, and I'm low-key a bit sad because I really wanted to eat an egg today and kind of have that protein intake, which is really important when you're pregnant, is to make sure you're eating enough protein. But anyways, there is this app that I have been using called Pregnancy Diet app, and it's really cool because you can actually type in the type of food that you're about to eat or that's in front of you, and it tells you if you should avoid it or if you should eat it in moderation or if it is good for pregnancy. So I've been really using that app, and it's been really helpful, especially when you're eating out and stuff like that and you just need to, instead of quickly googling something, it has it like all the information there for you, and it tells you the risks of each food and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really helpful. So I'm back in my room. The big bus tour was actually good and I would go on it again, but I would get the 24-hour pass or maybe the 2-day pass if I'm here, because I feel like there's so much more I want to see now after being on that, and like learning the history of Darwin and all the bombings that happened and the cyclones and just the historical things that they have here. Like they have all these different museums, and yeah, I would definitely love to have a little trip up here once baby's born and to go see those things. But I fell asleep on the bus
which is wild because I got so much sleep last night. I think just the heat and being pregnant and just like all that stuff, I just felt really tired. I was gonna go to the Mindle markets tonight, which is these markets that are on every Thursday night, and today's a Thursday, and there's like beautiful sunset and like you get yummy food and stuff like that. But I was like, I'm not gonna push myself. I'm just going to, I'm just gonna come back to the hotel, see how I feel. And although I'm like already tired, I need to tire myself out more because I really want to have a sleep before this red-eye flight that I'm doing. So I'm doing the red-eye home. So we sign on at 11:30 p.m. and we land back in Melbourne at 5:30 a.m. So we're going to be flying through the night. Obviously I want to get as much rest as I can before those flights, but I think being pregnant, and not only as a pregnant flight attendant but also if you're pregnant and traveling, a tip that I would give is definitely do activities that aren't too strenuous, and also really listen to your body. Like if you need to go have a nap or if you need to sit down for a bit, just really listen to your body and do what's best for you and baby. Before jumping on the big bus, I was originally going to do a walking tour. There's a free walking tour of Darwin. You just download this app called Darwin Walking Tour. It goes for an hour and you just walk around Darwin. And I got to the spot where it started, but that was also where the big bus was. And I was like, do you know what? It's like really hot today. Let me tell you how hot it is. It's 30 degrees Celsius and that's the time right now, and it's almost 5 p.m. And I thought it's probably best that I'm not walking around in the heat when I'm pregnant, and I didn't bring a water bottle with me or anything as well. If you've watched my like previous layovers when I wasn't pregnant and stuff, I literally like use all my time. I usually do lots of things, and when I travel, I have heaps of travel vlogs on my channel as well. I literally use every second up that I can to experience a place because that's the type of person that I am. But being pregnant has really, I guess, pulled that back and just made me realize I have plenty of time in my life to come back to Darwin and explore, and the places that I have been on layovers while being pregnant, I've just kind of had that mindset of like, I can come back here and do some fun things. Right now is a different season in life where I need to be resting and looking after baby. But in saying that, I am actually thinking of heading to the gym of this hotel and just like getting in a little bit of a workout, tiring myself out a bit more. And yeah, I haven't really walked or done much exercise today at all. Obviously I don't want to push myself. I just want to do a few weights, I think, which is something that I've been trying to do throughout this pregnancy, is trying to keep up my exercise routine. I definitely haven't kept it up, but I know the benefits of fitness when you're pregnant. Let's head to the gym. I'm not sure what workout I'm going to do, but let's see. While I was at the gym, I ordered some Uber Eats and I got Japanese food because if you watched my last vlog, I did a Japan trip. I flew there as a flight attendant, like I worked the trip, and it was amazing, and I freaking love Japanese food and I can't stop eating it. So I got myself some Japanese food. I'm so excited. I got a Japanese curry. So excited, with chicken, and oh my gosh, that's the curry. Oh, yummy. And it came with miso soup as well. Oh, no, that one's nice. I'm usually not a fan of miso soup, but that was actually really yummy. While I'm eating this, I kind of want to talk a little bit about things I pack as a pregnant flight attendant. Hang on, let's just have a moment for this curry. Oh my gosh, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Wow, it smells so good. It tastes so good too. This was a great decision. Anyways, where was I? I want to talk about some things that I specifically pack as a pregnant flight attendant, and perhaps some things that other people who are pregnant and flying, even for like leisure or work, should pack. First of all, I kind of touched on these earlier, but my prenatals, imperative. If you don't know, you have to be taking certain vitamins for pregnancy throughout your pregnancy, and ideally 3 months before you even conceive. So these are the ones I've been taking, the Naturo Best Prenatal Trimester 2 and 3 plus breastfeeding. So I think these are an Australian brand, so it's a really good one. My sister-in-law, who was seeing a naturopath, the naturopath recommended this one, and all the reviews online and stuff have been really good. So yeah, obviously consult your own doctors, etc. There was this one flight attendant trip where I forgot to bring my prenatals, and luckily I had one singular prenatal left in my bag, just like floating around. So luckily I was able to still take my vitamins, because that is really important. Another thing that I pack specifically is comfortable clothes, because I don't fit into like half my wardrobe right now. It's quite difficult. So I've practically been living in leggings, loungewear and dresses. Definitely make sure you pack things that are comfortable and that will be comfortable for traveling on a plane if you're a passenger, and also just like doing activities. Something really imperative, comfortable shoes, because I'm at the stage where my feet are starting to swell. So Birkenstocks have been really fantastic. They're the shoes that I was wearing today. These bad boys. And then I also pack my like runners to like, so that I can go for a walk or like go to the gym or anything like that. This is so freaking good, by the way. Let me see where this was from. This was from Hakusho Cafe in Darwin. Would recommend. Okay, last thing that you should pack, which low-key I don't pack, so don't take after my example, but I've heard it's really important to pack like either like a birth plan or birth preferences, in case you have to obviously give birth, or any other medical history or documents in relation to your pregnancy. It's important to bring with you, just in case, I don't know, something happens while you're away or anything like that. I've been really bad. I didn't bring anything with me. But I'm gonna be stopping flying soon, and the risk of like going into labor and stuff are quite low at where I am at anyway. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this up, watch a bit of Netflix, and I'll chat to you guys in a bit. Just had a shower, just jumped into bed. I'm gonna try and sleep for like 2 hours. It's 8 o'clock right now, and I need to be up at 10:15. So I want to have a nap beforehand, because I think that's really important, especially for like mental clarity. I feel like having a sleep really helps me stay alert and stuff, and I think that's very important. But I have probably mentioned it multiple times in this vlog already, but making sure I get enough sleep has been a huge priority of mine when flying and when on layovers and stuff like that, because I feel like since being pregnant my fatigue levels are a lot more heightened, and so I definitely try and manage my fatigue through my layovers, and when I'm at home I literally make sure I get enough sleep as possible before my shifts and all that jazz. On this flight home as well, we will get like crew rest, usually probably for like half an hour or so. So hopefully I'll be able to shut my eyes a bit then in the crew rest, which will help me get through the flight. It's only like a 4-hour, 15-minute flight time. It's not like a really long flight, which is good. My company is really great where they have a great fatigue management system. So like if any point before, after or during a shift and I'm too fatigued and too tired to either do that shift, continue on with that shift, or even like drive home or anything like that, I can be taken off the duty, I can be put in a hotel to rest. There's lots of things in place that like protect you, which is really great. So I've definitely used those systems before. I haven't used them during pregnancy because I felt like I haven't really needed them, because that's been such a huge focus of mine the last couple of months. But it's really cool and really comforting that those procedures and policies are in place in case, you know, we want to use it. Surprisingly feeling pretty good considering it is like 11 p.m. and I only had 2 hours sleep. Let me tell you, I knocked out. As soon as my head hit that pillow, I fell asleep and I feel really good. I get asked a lot about like, do I regret flying up until like these 28 weeks? Did I wish I like, okay, I'm just gonna put you here while I pack. Like, do I wish that I stopped earlier, etc.? And I guess the answer is no, but sometimes I do feel like that. For instance, when I do red eyes like this and I feel terrible, like when I land, that's when I regret flying, because you just never feel good after a red eye. But otherwise, like, I don't really regret it. I've been able to have some really fun trips, and I've been able to manage my like pregnancy symptoms pretty well. If I was to do it again, I would say this week I would have started ground duties, I reckon, because I feel like now my bump's getting a bit bigger and it's getting a bit harder to like arm and disarm the doors. Like, I obviously can still do it, but it just takes me a bit longer. And I'm kind of ready for the next step of like being on the ground and not flying and stuff. And my last trip was my Japan trip. If you haven't watched that, definitely go watch it. I did a Japan trip. It was flipping awesome. My husband came on it. We went out with my friend. It was literally the best. Like, it would have been cool to like finish with a bang, you know, and just like finish with that one and then done ground duties. It was funny actually, but the day before this trip I did have 1 day of ground duties because I was meant to have my yearly exams, like my SEP recurrent exams, like where you get tested on evacuation drills, you sit an exam, all that stuff. But luckily I was able to get taken off those training duties, thank goodness, because obviously I'm only flying for another 2 weeks, so it doesn't really make sense to do them. And also, like, I don't need that stress in my life, especially when I'm pregnant. You want to be like as stress-free as possible, so I'm really grateful I didn't have to do them. So I did 1 day of admin duties the day before this trip, so 2 days ago. And I literally sat in an office in the crew room and just like answered inquiries when people walked in about different things. So it's so chill in the office, and yeah, I'm excited to have some ground duties. I'm going to continue packing. I have like 5 minutes before I need to run downstairs. Today we're just doing 1 flight home to Melbourne, as I said earlier, and I wanted to talk about like 1 more topic before I head downstairs. If you're pregnant, hire the maternity uniform ASAP as soon as you find out you're pregnant. Because I left it to like the last minute. I had about a month off and I ordered it in that month, and so I was ready after once I was ready to come back flying. But I went to pick it up the day before like a trip, and they didn't have it and I didn't fit into my uniform anymore, so I was like stressing. But luckily I was able to get it the day of the trip and like pick my uniform up the day I started that trip and left. So yeah, would recommend getting it as soon as possible and just having it like in your cupboard, because I feel like from like week 19 is like when your bump really grows. Well, for me anyway, like 18, 19, people still couldn't really tell that I was pregnant. I just kind of looked a little bloated. But once I reached like 20, 21, 22, I really started to pop, and that's when my uniform didn't fit. So luckily I wasn't actually flying during those times because I was on annual leave. Luckily I had annual leave or else I don't know what I would have done. So yeah, that would be my advice. I'm using my favorite lipstick. It's called Velvet Teddy by MAC. It's so good. Love it. Oh, and I didn't show you guys, but I actually bought a lemon meringue on my way home, and I might even give it a little bite now just to give me some sugar for this shift. It was from, what was it? Something Cakes. I'll put the name of the store on the screen, but it looked awesome and I would definitely recommend it. It was like authentic bakery kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, stop. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done my lipstick. And this is literally meringue. How am I meant to only have 1 bite? This is so yummy. Yum. Okay, I'm gonna save the rest. That would be my little sugar hit if I need some energy for the flight. But let's head downstairs, get on the plane, have a great flight, and head home. And then I'll be hitting bed straight away, I bet, as soon as I get home. Let's do it. I'm feeling really good, surprisingly. Hello guys, so I'm back in my car. Just arrived home from Darwin. It is
6:20 a.m. So I'm really tired, ready to drive home, have a shower, get to bed. It's also like 7 degrees right now, and I came from, you know, it was like 30 something degrees today. So coming from like 30 degrees to 7 degrees is a huge adjustment. If you have any questions about being flight attendant, pregnant, anything like that, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.